You just can't look at door gaps and panel fit anymore to see structural damage. So it's necessary to measure.
Modern vehicles make it even more necessary to measure than in the past because there's more secondary and hidden damage in vehicles that get hit today than we were used to seeing.
There's a lot of damage that's going unnoticed, or there's damage further in the vehicle that's not being noticed that needs to be corrected to make sure that the vehicle is put back to a pre-accident condition.
You can take a 30-mile-an-hour hit on a vehicle built 10 years ago, and if you open the door and the door drops or pops or something like that, we know that we've got damage into the center section. On today's vehicle, you do the same thing, doors open and close like factory, but yet now you've got damage into the rear section of that vehicle because it transferred into that area. So with today's vehicles, if you've got a hit and it's taken some type of structural misalignment, I would recommend the entire vehicle needs to be measured.
The problem of repairs without using measuring is it's an unguided repair. When you turn around and you look at the repair process, it does become longer because the fit and finish takes longer to be able to get a fender to fit in the front end or be able to replace an apron without measuring the part for position. And we also need to start looking at the factors of what's out on the front of that core support, if it is a core support. Does it have an airbag mounting sensor? Does it have some motion sensor that's used for drivability of the vehicle?
Identifying the damage and knowing where it is and what you have to take out allows you to develop a repair plan and do the repair faster. If you just go haphazardly about it and try to just start pulling on the car and straighten it out, but you don't really know where the damage is, it'll actually take you longer.
In all reality, if you're measuring the car, your repair process is shorter because I have a roadmap now of exactly what needs to be done to this vehicle structurally and cosmetically.
So it all starts in the very beginning with the estimate. If they can measure it in that estimate area, identify that, get the parts ordered, or determine at that point what needs to be replaced or what can be repaired, then it goes to the technician and it just speeds up that cycle time as well.
You can find something that looks very superficial from the outside that when you really look into it ends up being severely damaged. My car's got a class that's got an example of that. I don't remember what class it is, but when you look at it from the outside, it looks like you could do a half-hour repair on the bumper cover and repaint the bumper cover and maybe do a really quick radiator support pull, and when you get it up in the air, it needs 2 frame rails.
We're seeing more and more the vehicles that are not being measured, that there's damage being left in the vehicle or it's just being repaired by a technician and not being documented. We need to be measuring to diagnose, we need to be measuring throughout the repair, and we need to measure to document that it's been repaired correctly.
If a car gets into an accident and you fixed it at some point in its life, can you document the damage? Can you document the repair? If you don't measure, you don't have that documentation. You know, the old adage, whoever goes to court with the least amount of documents is going to lose. That's why measuring is so critical in our industry today. You've got to document the damage. You have to document the repair. You have to be able to document that you correctly repaired that vehicle to factory specs. And if you're not measuring, you're guessing.